Hey everyone, it's David Breeze Flippers. It's a little early for my midweek update, but I just wanted to say, first of all, it's Veterans Day, and I wanted to say Happy Veterans Day. I had a little time this evening. I figure, why not go ahead and put my video out early, because tomorrow's going to be busy. I had a lot of stuff going on work-wise and otherwise, and so I thought I'd do it today. And I wanted to wish everybody a Happy Veterans Day. And we don't have to ship anything today, which is kind of nice. So did have some orders going out. Wanted to talk about what went out and what's going out so far. And it's still, sales are still good. Still picking up a little bit, moving right along. So we're happy about that. And I have a few updates because I keep hearing some stuff still about the promoter listings issue thing. So I did read some more stuff that's actually in here. Doesn't make me feel any better. I just want to say that, but I do want to talk a minute about it and maybe give you some ideas of some things to look at as well. So let's get into it.
Find it, flip it, ship it, wear Breeze Flippers, keep it moving. Find it, flip it, ship it, repeat.
All right, first of all, we have had some sales. Actually, so far 7 between yesterday and today. So very happy about that. Had a couple that went out yesterday that I shipped along with the weekend shipment. So nothing came in overnight, which was really weird on Sunday night. Normally we get sales. It was just kind of quiet. Crickets. Don't know. Maybe they turned off the portal or something. Who knows what happened anyway. But we did get some sales actually early on actually early Monday morning, which I kind of found interesting because I was looking back at a lot of these sales, and a lot of these sales come in at like 8 a.m., 4 a.m., 2 a.m. Who's up that late? So people are sitting there ordering that late. I mean, I love it, but it's crazy, right? But I'll pop these up on the screen and I'll show you guys what these were. We had a couple of really good sales go out Monday that I liked, something that I'm interested in. Now, if you guys hear my dog snoring, she snores like a buzzsaw, so I hope that it can't hear that and pick it up, but if you do, I apologize for it, because she is snoring like crazy down there. Anyway, the first thing that went out was a Micro Machine Super Micro Lights, number 6 fire truck and school bus. And that's a Galoob, 1989. It was new in the box. I picked these up at the P Ridge Flea Market. Apparently, this older couple, had this entire collection of stuff that they had been, selling at flea markets and doing different things their whole life, but they were going to retire and they were done with it. They gave it all to their kids, and their kids basically treated it as a retirement. I don't know. Okay. Anyway, that was their inheritance, I guess, So they were going to treat it as their inheritance, and they were trying to get really good money for it. So I ended up paying up for this. I think I spent $100 that day. I ended up with 6 of these Micro Machines, all new in the box, and a bunch of other little cars, toys, and different things that were fairly good. I've sold several of them. These are slow sellers, but when they do sell, they're good. This one was $50.34. It did get free shipping. It didn't cost, it cost under $6 to ship it because it just drops in a box. So very cool though, kind of fun. The next thing we sold was a video, Johnny Quest Complete. Now, I don't know if you remember Johnny Quest from back in the day, probably my day, since I'm a next generation. I remember Johnny Quest. So Johnny Quest Complete first season, 4 DVD set, Hanna-Barbera. Anyway, it was in good shape. We ended up picking that up at a yard sale, and I think we bought a whole bunch of stuff that day. It's probably cost around maybe $2, I think, maybe less. I can't remember. We got a deal, so you bundled together. I just put $2 on it. That's what I remember. Anyway, we sold it for $12.34. It got $6.99 shipping. So that was what went out Monday. So again, like I said, it had picked up and then kind of slowed down a little bit. I might have to put these up on the screen too, so maybe I'll pull screenshots and show you. But today, this is what sold today. We sold some Star Wars Micro Machines, so it must be the days for Micro Machines. But anyway, these are in a bag. There's actually 4 of them in there. You have 2 TIE Fighters. I don't know if you can see that. And then you have the, what's this one called? The Ghost and Resistance bomb ships. So anyway, so you have 2 of these ships. They're all Micro Machines, so they're kind of cool. You actually can, there's a little thing in the bottom of these. You can actually put them on a stand. I don't have the stand, but that would be kind of cool. That'd be neat to display. Ended up getting $33.24 for those, and they went out with free shipping, but they're not going to cost much to ship. And since you have to ship today, it's kind of a nice, relaxing thing. So, and that was a big garage sale up in Tuscaloosa that we ended up picking those up in. And it was, like I said, I think paid $30 that day, got a whole bunch of Micro Machines. I've sold some already. And then we got some little Star Wars characters, the little 5-inch characters. One was a TIE Fighter and the other one was a Stormtrooper. And those sold for like 20 a piece. So we did okay with that one. Still selling Hallmark. Guys, these sell. If you got a chance to buy them up, buy them up. This one was the Hallmark Lionel Train ornaments. It's a lot of 4 from 1999 and 2000. These are little die-cast trains. Let me tell you, they're cute. They're really built well. I mean, they're solid, right? So, and that's a heavy little package. So those are heavy little buggers. We ended up getting $16.14 for that. This is going to get $6.99 shipping. So anyway, so they are selling. Still happy about that. Here's something interesting though. And we did sell this. Now, I got to be honest with you. I can't believe people still buy these. All right, so this is a 35mm camera. Canon SureShot Z115 35mm camera. Point and shoot. Click, click, click. Tested it, put a battery in it. Everything worked great. You know, other than putting film in it, but you could see through it and it would wind and do all the stuff that it needed to do. But got $45.99 for that, and it will go out with $6.99 shipping. Oddly enough, I don't know why things sell like this. We sold the other one we had. This is also a 35mm camera. It's an Olympus multi-zoom, multi-AF Super Zoom 3000 35mm camera. And everything was working on it too. Flash, the whole thing. Everything was pretty nice on this. And it did do what it was supposed to do. Ended up getting $29.99 for this. And I think it's $6.99 shipping. Seems like a big chunk of money there for, yeah, $6.99 shipping. So this one is going to Texas. So anyway, kind of cool. I was surprised to see that 2 cameras, 35mm, sold the same day. Now, I think a lot of times, I know my daughter had to have a 35mm camera for an art class. So maybe that's what all this is. So, I mean, they're not like the greatest cameras in the world, but if you had to have one for an art class, what an easy way to do it. Find it on eBay. And then last, this sold today. It was kind of a shock too. So it didn't sell for much, guys. I don't have much in these. I think I bought this entire, I bought all these superheroes and all these things from a yard sale. And I am pretty sure I only paid about $20 for an entire box of a whole bunch of these. Got Superman, they had Batman, they had all kinds of characters in it. A lot of them are for sale. Some of them we ended up putting at the booth. Some of them I think I've sold elsewhere. But this one was still in the inventory and it sold. He is the Flash 12-inch from 2016. He's anyway, it's a Justice League version of it. He sold for $7 and I think he's got $5.99. I know he's got $5.99 shipping on him. So anyway, $7. Made some money on that one. It's not that bad. All told, guys, about $245 for the week so far, just Monday and Tuesday. So can't complain, won't complain. Trust me. I'm very excited about that. So, but I want to talk a few minutes about this whole promotion thing. And we beat the dead horse. I realize this, but I do want to make sure that people saw some of this stuff because I think they've posted some new things on it just recently. And it's something I heard this week sometime. I honestly can't remember where. It was a podcast or somewhere, but they brought up a very good point. And it's actually in writing. So we'll talk about that as well. Is that when's this actually going to start? Well, it starts January 13th, but does it? We're going to look at that real quick. And I'll tell you, this whole thing is, I don't know, it's got me thinking, guys. And I really would love to drop a comment. Tell me what you're going to do. Are you just dropping promotion altogether? But I did hear one thing. I will say this. This is what you can do. You can let eBay know your opinion. I wouldn't go complain, curse, yell, scream, yell. They're not going to pay attention to that because everybody can do that, right? But you might go to their webpage, you might, or as far as their Facebook page, you might go to their Instagram, you might even go on to their forums on their eBay pages and just voice your opinion. Give them an honest opinion what they think this is doing, because I think it's going to hurt small sellers. And the one thing that really is going to hurt are those of you that sell multi items. Like if you have all kinds of, like if you have 100 of one item and it's one listing, as soon as somebody clicks on a promoted, if that's selling like regularly and you keep replenishing or you keep putting it back in there, like maybe it's the shirts or maybe it's clothes or whatever it is, you're going to pay promoted items on that all the time. Well, maybe you kind of plan on that, but that's, you know, I just think that's crazy. I mean, I can't even imagine how much that's going to cost. So I started looking at it and digging in the numbers, and I saw some other stuff too. And we know, you know, they're moving to the attributed sale. Okay, no problem. So what I did was I went back First of all, you can't get to this information. If you really want to see how you're doing and what your promoted ads are doing, you can't go to the advertising page. Now, if you go to the advertising page on your eBay hub right now, sales hub, you will see that they've updated our promoted listings program. There's a little thing and a link in there, and I'll pull that up and I'm gonna take a look and read you a couple things. But where you need to go to see this is you go over to your performance tab, scroll down until you see sales, click on sales, and I started looking at it. All right, so here's what I found, and I thought this was interesting. So I looked at last year compared to the year before, and I see that from a promoted sales, I had promoted sales was 51.5% of my sales. So organic sales was 48.5%. This was last year. And so when I started looking at the fees and I broke it down, because you can go down to the selling cost and you can take a look at your fees. So you can see your insertion, whatever there was, insertion fees, final value fees, blah, blah, blah. And then ad fees and ad fees general. Okay, so my ad fees and ad fees general, I use general. That's what I use, just same as most people. The total percent of my selling cost was 13.7%. Okay, so 13.7%. Now, that's a total of your selling cost. That's like, as if you look at what your fees were as a comparison, that's what the comparison was. And like I said, I did promote a little higher last year than I have this year. So that makes sense to me, right? So I went back and I thought, okay, let's take a look at this year and see where my numbers are. And I went back and looked at it. So compare it to last year. All right. And this year, my promoted sales are, well, let's see, we refresh it here. Hey, there we go. We'll refresh it. All right, so my promoted sales this year, if I take a look at promoted, is 49%. My promoted sales are 49%. My organic sales are 51%. So just that little change, that couple percent, this is what difference it makes. So a total, my ad fees, my percent of selling costs went to 8.3%. So, and that part of it is, again, I'm not promoting everything. I do wait to promote things. I don't put it up right away in promotion. And also I've moved it to an average of 3%. It's between 2 and 4%, for an average is 3%. So I think that's made a big difference, but I've still paid, a little chunk of money in advertising fees. Now, comparatively, it's only like $450 compared to the total ad fees that I have with shipping and everything, about $5,400. Okay, so it's not a big deal, but it is still a little bit. But when you start looking at it, the 51%, so that got me looking at that and thinking, okay, so how's that going to affect me? Well, this was something that I started to look at, because I said, well, January 13th, I'm going to make some decisions. I will just either decide to pull it down or not, or do something. But here's what I read today. I think you're going to be interested in this. So first of all, it updated the as far as the attribution definition, and it says they simplified it. An attributed sale will be when any buyer purchases the promoted item within 30 days of any click on the ad, regardless of whether the buyer themselves clicked on the ad, period. The item must be promoted at the time of the click and the time of the sale, which I found that interesting. So it has to be promoted at the time of the sale. So if you had some traffic on there and you took the promotion off, from what I'm reading, it sounds like if it sells later, you might actually not be paying that rate. The seller will be charged the ad rate at the time of the sale. So that's a little different than I think now is like if you took the ad promotion off, you had 30 days that it gets attributed to it. So I think that might be a little bit different. It's going to require a little bit more research to look into it, but I'm pretty sure that did change. So it says now, this is the part that gets me, and I think this is the biggest kick in the butt. The update will simplify campaign reporting, which many sellers have requested. Who did that? Did you request it? I didn't care. I just knew that I get the percentage that I wanted. I didn't really care what they did. I haven't been asking for anything. So maybe there are some people that absolutely need it, but I didn't request it. So many sellers requested the greater ease, use, and clarity while allowing you to maintain control over your spend. Well, we maintain control over our spend by, managing what percent we put on there. And we knew that this is pretty much what's going to be. And if I knew that 50% of my sales were going to be organic, I would just estimate that 50% of them are going to be organic and 50% are going to be promoted. Now, I think it's going to be a lot bigger, and I'll tell you. So it says, though, you still continue to only pay when your item sells, and as with any update, we recommend you monitor ad performance and adjust your strategy accordingly. Okay. So anyway, as I scrolled down and started looking at this and started looking at it, it says, with the attribution update, will my general campaign ad spend increase? We expect to see more sales being attributable to promoted listings that use general campaign strategy. As a result, general campaign spend may increase. We encourage sellers to monitor ad performance and adjust their strategy accordingly. So they're admitting it's going to go up, and I am absolutely sure it will. And I know it will. And it says, what will happen to the direct attribution and halo attribution for general campaigns? So as of January 13th, items promoted using the general campaign strategy will no longer use direct attribution and halo item attribution when sales are reported or ad fees are charged. Historical sales will still continue to include those from respective dates of January 13 on. So in other words, you'll still have some historical data. Campaigns that use priority strategy are not impacted. Okay, so it says for the attribution update to general campaigns, if I set an initial ad rate and then change it, which ad rate will be charged? Sellers are charged the ad rate of the sold item at the time of the sale. The item must be promoted at the time of the click and the time of the sale. So that tells me, at least that I read it, is that if I started out at 10%, brought all this traffic, dropped it down to 2%, and somebody clicks on it and whenever and buys it, I pay 2%. Does anyone else read it differently? Because I think that's what it is. So that's what it sounds like to me. So I don't know if there's any good in that right there, but it does sound kind of interesting, right? It says, if I'm promoting an item before the attribution update to general campaigns, how will sales and ad fees be attributed after the update? So here's the part that I think people are missing. They're going to consider clicks from up to 30 days before the attribution updates take effect to apply to the updated logic. So everybody's got January 13th. Guys, it's not January 13th. It's December 13th. December 13th. If you have promoted items and someone clicks on that promoted items and buys it anywhere January 13th, basically, you know, think about it, December 15th, December 20th, it's a busy time, right? People are clicking on everything. They're looking at stuff. If that sells after January 13th, you're going to get attributed for that sale. So so they basically use the example, if a buyer clicks on a promoted listing that uses a general campaign strategy on December 20th, 2025, if that promoted sale sells on December 26th, direct or halo will be applied. Okay, that makes sense because it's not January 13th. If that promoted sale sells on January 13th, the updated attribution logic will be applied. So anyway, keep that in mind, guys. If you're promoting right now, anything that you have after December 13th could count, and that's something to keep in mind. And that means not clicking on the ad rate, but I mean, anybody that clicks in there or somebody buys it organically and they clicked on it back on December 20th after January 13th, you're paying the rate. So it did say when they're going to see it in the hub, sellers can see the sales attributed to promoted listings and associated ad fees by downloading the sales report, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Anyway, it says, let's see, the other thing was, well, yeah, so anyway, they're doing this already over in Europe, right? We've known this. We knew it was coming. I think a lot of people knew it was coming, but that little piece right there is one I didn't catch. I didn't catch it when I first read it, and that's kind of new. So only thing I say, guys, is I'm still thinking, but now I'm thinking a little bit harder about what I'm going to pull off. So I'm seriously going to look at the items that have right now, before December 13th, anybody that has any item that has basically has watchers on it, I'm taking the promotions off of those right now. Because the way I read it, it doesn't matter. If there's no promotion on it, there's no fee. Okay. And after December 13th, I sure don't want, you know, if I get a lot of traffic to something, I've got some items that for whatever reason, I have tried everything I can do to get it to sell. It doesn't sell, but there has like 100 watchers on it. I've lowered the price, I keep lowering the price, I keep lowering the price, but it doesn't sell. So I don't know, maybe it's just that people, or it could be maybe there's 100 sellers out there that are watching it too, so who knows, and I'm just playing the low game on it. But I'm gonna have to look at that. I'd be curious, what's your guys' strategy? Are you gonna do the same thing? Are you gonna change anything immediately based on this? Because this information, like I said, it's kind of, this, I feel like this has been updated, and so this is the first time I've looked at it. But I'm going to highly recommend a couple things, guys. Go look at your numbers. You know your numbers, right? If you know what your numbers are, you can see what changes are going to happen and see if it's worth it. You know, when I look at it, this is a hard thing, guys. If your margins are good and you're buying stuff really cheap and you're promoting at 2 to 3% and you're fine with it, 2 cents on the dollar, 3 cents on the dollar is not a lot. Now, if you're selling something for hundreds of dollars, it gets to be bigger, right? So I get it, and that's a big range in the profit. If your margins are high, you know, you spend $50 to sell something for $80. It cuts into the margins a little bit, right? Or you spend, you know, $1 to sell something for $5, that's going to cut on the margins. So that's got to be your business decision, right? You have to make that decision, what's going to work best for your business. But I would highly recommend you go to your performance tab in your sales and look at your numbers last year, look at your numbers this year, make that comparison and see where you're at. Because it was a big eye opener for me. I didn't even think about it, to go back and see last year that my percent of sales for advertising was 13%, and this year it's only 8%. So that was a big change, making that change that I did last year to bring that percentage down. So I think that's going to be, you know, it's going to help us to kind of review what's going on. And this other thing is December 13th. So that's D-Day, guys. It's not January 13th. So I think we really want to make sure. But, you know, they're removing the halo, they're removing everything else. But one thing is different that I didn't quite get was the fact that if they click on it at the time of the sale, it's the rate at the time of the sale, not the rate that was 30 days before. Where I believe right now, if somebody clicked on it 30 days prior, if they click on a rate and you had a 10% rate on there and somebody bought it later and they clicked on it, I think the percentage, if that person goes back and buys at a later rate, they get the 10%. I'm pretty sure that rate made a difference for 30 days. So I have to look that up to make sure, but I think that's what it was. Or the halo, you know, if you had somebody click through to your store and then they found something organically in your store, you're still paying that rate, but that's going away too. So I don't know, guys. This is one of those things that I think, it's a fee rate. I mean, it really is. It's a rate increase. Somewhere how you look at it, it's a rate increase. For those of you that don't have to promote, good on you. And this is going to be the last thing that you would worry about. So for us that do have to, or feel like we have to promote, I feel like I do, guys. I don't know. How do you feel? I mean, 50% of my sales come from a promoted listing. I don't know. If I cut out those promoted listings, am I going to lose 50% of my sales? And it's a hard time to test it at the first of the year, right? Because typically January is okay month. February, March are kind of slow months sometimes, and that's a hard time to test that. So, you know, that it may be one of those situations where we look at when do we promote the best. I might be looking, maybe doing some custom runs and kind of looking at by month and say, okay, what did we do this month? What did we do that month? And maybe kind of look at some of those sales reports and pull that out, because it might be a good idea. Maybe you promote for a certain amount of time and then you cut it off and you only do another promotion. So I think for us to kind of battle this and really get good at it, we're probably going to have to really get to know our numbers. So that's what my suggestion is, know your numbers. I know I'm going to take a look at it and try to figure that out for myself and see what's going to work best for my business. And that's what you guys got to do for yours as well. So other than that, guys, that's been the thing that's been on my mind. For fun, I've been doing some fun stuff. I gotta tell you guys, I've been cleaning and pressing comics, and I have had such fun with it. Now, some people color, adult coloring books. Some people do different things for stress relief. Lately, I've been cleaning and pressing comics, and I've been having a blast at it. I'm learning this. I am not an expert by any means, but I have fixed some comics. Like one today, I had to take a bunch of crayon off of it. I actually got it to clean up. But it was funny because I had to mention this because I don't know why, for us X generation people. So I remember these as a kid. Does anyone remember this as a kid? Used to I think I did this one time where I wanted to win a bike or a racetrack or something, and you had to sell these cards. And man, I went around to everybody selling cards, and you ended up only getting these little crappy gifts. And I think I got like a whole box of something that was just like a bunch of little junk, little cards and stuff like that. But I do remember signing up for that. I'm just wondering if anybody else remembers signing up for it. But that's what I've been working on, guys. I've got a bunch of books I'm getting ready to send off to CGC. They're more modern. There's not really any old ones in there. The old ones I'm still working on. I'm hoping to get some of these cleaned up. Like if I can get this one, I think this one was actually this is Avengers number 127. I want to say if it was a 9.8, it'd be worth a couple $100, but this will never be a 9.8 because it has chipping at the top. So unfortunately, and the color, it's a little off-white, even though I've erased and done everything I could, and it's got some color breaks. So maybe best it would ever get would be like a 7 or an 8, but I don't know. Anyway, some of those are going to get sent off. It's fun. So anyway, this is what I've been doing to keep my mind off of this promotional stuff. So I don't know. I'd like to, what are you guys doing? Like I said, I really want to hear some conversation from you guys to tell me what's your thought on it, and what are you going to do? Are you just going to cut it out completely and just go as one podcast say raw dog and just do it without promotion? I don't know. I may do the same thing. I'm just kind of trying to figure out if that's going to be the best thing for my business or not. So anyway, that's kind of what's going on, guys. What's going on with me? Again, if you get a chance, go to to my main page on YouTube. I did some collaboration work with the Finders Flippers Resell podcast. It was kind of a fun time. Got that in there too. So get a chance to go over there and check out those guys. I've been checking out some other podcasts too. I've been loving the Buy It All podcast. If you haven't listened to those guys yet, Jimmy Old School Flips and Vintage Sports Flip, and there's all kinds of, I can't remember the other guy's name. It'll come to me in a minute, but anyway, they've been really great. Really enjoyed listening to them and a bunch of others. So got some Dibbed It auction coming up on Friday. If you still haven't gone, that's what I want to tell everybody too. Guys, if you have not gone to Dibbed It yet, now's the best time to. I'm going to tell you why. If you go to the main Dibbed It page, dibdit.com, if you use Breeze Flips, you get $5 off your first $10 purchase, should you decide to buy anything. But if you go to there's some different trending listens, but there's one of them is called under Featured Collection. It is a free $1 free shipping offer. So for anybody that wants to, new members or such, if you go in there and you put a $1 offer, this is not a raffle. This is not a raffle at all. If you win it, you put a $1 offer on there. If you win it, you get that item for $1 free shipping. So they've got a vintage 1991 Terminator up there. They've got a Wii system, a full Wii system. They've got a vintage Looney Tunes special Tweety Bird shirt. They've got a vintage Sports Specialties Tampa Bay Lightning hat, and a brand new Megan 2 popcorn bucket. All for $1, guys. So just go in there and bid $1, and there's going to pick one random winner for each of these. So get a chance. Go to dibdit.com. You can also use the link in my bio to go over there and check it out. It's not going to hurt you to go sign up and just get into one of these $1 bids, because you might win something, and you might find something that you guys really want to buy over there too. So there's a lot of great auctions and a lot of super sellers, guys. I think you would enjoy the heck out of it. So if you get a chance, go over there. I hope to see you there. And if you do come to one of my auctions, tell me you found me off the podcast or off the YouTube channel, and I would appreciate it. And those that have liked and subscribed and have put up with me for this long, thank you. I appreciate you. And those that haven't, thank you as well. I appreciate you watching no matter what. Y'all are important to me, and the comments and the conversation that I get from a lot of y'all is fantastic. Like I said, when we do hit 1,000, we're going to do some giveaways and do some different stuff. 1,000 doesn't make any big difference to anybody. It's just a goal, and we're trying to hit that, and we're going to try and do it by December, guys. So we appreciate everybody, and I hope you guys have a great rest of this week. Those veterans, again, happy Veterans Day. I hope your sales are picking up. I hope you figure out what you're going to do with this promotional stuff, guys, because it's coming fast, and we need to make some decisions on it very soon. So throw some conversation in here, and let's get some things started and talk about it and see what everybody's going to do. I'm David, Breeze Flippers. We'll see ya.
Find it, flip it, ship it. Wear Breeze Flippers. Keep it moving. Find it, flip it, ship it, repeat.